The next race up is for Tyro Juniors, who will be sharing the track with Junior Pro Karts. The grid positions for Tyro Junior on screen now, Jake.
Harvey Williams, George Townsend, Jack Stimson and Oliver Gibson will start off the lead from the front. Ryan Sayers and Dan Parsons, then Maddox Chan, Zachary Mead, Danny Hall and Sam Aston will round out the top 10 for this Tyro Junior final. And it's going to be an interesting one for the drivers further back. Oliver Hall, Finley Marshall, Max Mannion and Charlie Brooks hoping to make up some progress from the start. But with this being Tyro Junior, it's going to be very competitive. Harvey Williams going to be going off pole position all the way from Hagley. Looks like it could be a competitive start for the front, and off we go to the first corner, through Crook, through Oblivion and up towards Fine Lady. And already it looks like a pretty clean start.
That's Townsend out front, Jake. Look at that already. He went round the outside through turn one. He's already got 3 or 4 kart lengths going through Christmas Corner.
Stimson in behind Dan Parsons as they battle away from 4th position downwards, looking for a little bit of clear track as they make their way towards Ashby. Down to the inside, 2 or 3 drivers going for it, a little bit of contact. They've just about got away with that. You don't want to push yourself too hard on the opening lap. You spread yourself too thin on the tyre management. So Harvey Williams in 2nd place now in front of Parsons, and then it is Stimson. Still running very well over the sharp end. Everybody just keeping themselves to themselves on the opening lap. You can't win the race on lap 1, but you can definitely lose it.
Yeah, further back, we've got Max Mannion, Charlie Brooks and Oliver Hall at the back of the field. They're in the Junior Pro Karts. Looks like we've lost the Junior Pro Kart already. Great pictures as they come through that final turn. George Townsend pictures.
Yeah, you can see just how much standing water there is on those excess curbs on the outside. But this is not going to be that electrifying kind of battle where you've got drivers literally swapping places left, right and centre. These guys have teamed up. You've got Hall, Sayers and Mead, and they've figured out, right, well, the top 4 are getting away. So we cannot afford to let them pull too far clear. We've got to work together in unison to try and get this move further forward. We've got to try and get ourselves back into contention to not let the top 4 pull clear.
Harvey Williams getting closer to George Townsend. He was half a second, 0.580 as he went through the line at the end of the last lap. He's closer now as they go through the line.
Oh, is that going to be, come? Is that Mead going to try and get the run there on Ryan Sayers through the final turn? He had to bail out of it in the end, but he was certainly getting hungry for it. As through they go again, plenty of curb use as you can see. And look at the back of the train. That's Sam Aston, fancying his chances to work his way further forward rather rapidly. He's not quite been able to get the deep done, but there is the move as Finley Marshall has got a technical flag in kart 75, so that's down at the back.
Yeah, I think that's in the junior, must be one of the juniors because he's not on screen at the moment.
Probably so the technical flag for the transponder maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So he's out of it. This is a battle for 5th in the Tyro Mini class.
Ooh,
it's close.
Gibson going for a very brave lunge there on the inside line. That's as late as you like into Ozier's. Now whether or not that's going to have completed or not is unclear, but Harvey Williams up at the front trying to close in on George Townsend. There is the technical defect flag once again for Finley, but I'm afraid he's not going to be able to take any further part, and Zachary Mead did get that move completed on Ryan Sayers. That was very brave, as here for the lead goes Harvey Williams, chops up the inside line, and that's a perfect overtake on George Townsend. So Williams hits the front then as they come out of Ashby. This is now going to be a swap of roles. Instead of being the hunter, now Harvey Williams is going to be the hunted, and he's got to try and place the kart in the first few laps to try and make sure that Townsend isn't going to have a decent response.
Yeah, Townsend with the 1 plate on his kart. Now we're not sure what championship he's won, whether it was this championship last year, I'm assuming it was. But he's got the 1 plate on his kart for a reason, and that is because he is extremely fast. Here's the battle for 3rd and 4th, Parsons and Stimson going through the line.
And the fastest lap of the race coming in from Jack Stimson, so 48.209. Nobody's really able to get close to that, and as a result, Stimson is going to get the run here on Parsons. But again, how much do you want to battle with Dan Parsons, and how much do you want to use that speed, use the draft, tag in behind him and try and close up on Williams and Townsend up at the front? There's only 1.5 seconds back from the race leader, so if you can utilise this, if you can actually build on this speed and go with Dan Parsons, you can basically double time, work up close behind Williams and Townsend, and the win is still on.
Again, battle for 5th. We join it from the drone. Great pictures going down the back straight into the boot. This is the ankle. You can see why it's a boot. Ankle, toe, and then this is the heel going through the final turn. That battle for 5th place again. It's the 99 kart that leads that. Danny Hall as they go through the line.
Zachary Mead all over the back of him though, looking for the chance to get through at Oblivion. Up towards Emmanuel's bank. Passing, they go through. fine lady, and into Christmas. No overtaking moves yet there. The problem is, you don't want to go too ugly early, as they used to say in the Birmingham nightclubs back in the day. You've got to try and pitch the moment. You've got to look for where the overtaking move is on, and you've got to tidy up that move at the exit of it.
Is that the powerhouse in Birmingham you're talking about that I worked at, Jake?
Quite possibly. So through they go, up to the inside, Zachary Mead. You can see Danny Hall is starting to get the back end a little bit tail happy. That's when you start over-defending, that's when you start over-correcting as well. And that's when Zachary Mead essentially has his rival on the ropes. Here we go, George Townsend has not given up hope. He's managed to get back past Harvey Williams. In the same moment, Stimson has been able to get past Dan Parsons. So a change for the lead, a change for third.
Fantastic racing. This battle for the lead here. Townsend and Williams. Williams started pole in P2 at the moment, but he'll want to turn that back in to a lead at some point as they come through the right-hander and then down through to the left-hander and then down to the hairpin.
Into Wilkins and up towards Oziers. You can see it's 2x2 hurrah at the moment between Townsend and Williams, then Stimson and Parsons, then Hall and Mead. The only problem is they've got Sayers, Gibson and Aston on their tail, and they all want a piece of fifth position if they can grab it. Time continues to tick down. Max Mannion still leading the junior category ahead of Charlie Brooks. Oliver Hall no longer in the game. So still this battle raging as Townsend trying to stretch away from Harvey Williams. They go along Manuel's Bank once again, and they're going to start to hit traffic. The first kart they will find is Charlie Brooks.
How you deal with traffic is how you win races, and this is a slower kart in front, one of the junior pro karts, and down the inside's the leader.
Oh!
Here comes Harvey Williams and takes advantage of the traffic. Fantastic move by Williams to get back into the lead.
That is a gorgeous sweeper of a move there from Harvey Williams. Just saw the opportunity, saw that Townsend was going to be offline, carried a little bit more momentum and said, right, I can get the lead back again. Pure conviction, pure focus into Ashby. And Harvey Williams snatches the lead in superb style. Now the roles are reversed again because now they've got Max Mannion, although he is going to be on the straight at exactly the wrong moment for George Townsend because there's no advantage gained essentially. So through they go again, and Williams has not only been able to take a beautiful move to get the lead, but he's actually caught Max Mannion in the right place to not lose the lead again himself.
Fastest laps come out for each driver as they go through the line. If you see a yellow bar in front of the time, that means that's the driver's fastest lap. The fastest lap of the race will pop up in blue quite clearly, but anything you see with a blue bar means that's the lap time for that lap.
Fifth place battle going through past Max Mannion in exactly the wrong moment, and guess who's been held up the worst? It's Sam Aston. He's dropped away from that quartet, but it was so close for the likes of Mead and Hall. As a result, Oliver Gibson has been able to pop his way past all of them, and up into fifth position he goes now. So Gibson has actually been able to come up with an absolute peach of an overtake.
Williams is getting away, Jake. Williams went through the line just over half a second ahead. He's just starting to get away. This is that battle for fifth place in the Tyro Mini class. So Oliver Gibson from Zach Mead it is, and these two are clear of the chasing Danny Hall, Ryan Sayers and Sam Aston.
This is all about momentum, isn't it? And Williams certainly has the momentum now. There is Townsend trying to stay with him. Stimson still in front of Dan Parsons. Gibson having worked his way very carefully to get himself in a fifth position there in front of Zachary Mead. But this is very tight. Here comes the chance now from Mead. He's going to dive into the boot, and there's contact. Somehow they both keep on the road and still facing the right direction. Here comes the chance now from Danny Hall. He goes in at the heel, takes it at the pit bend, and now Ryan Sayers is fancying his chances. But again, it all comes down to momentum. They go into the last lap, but how close was that between Gibson and Mead to disaster?
Yeah, absolutely, and unfortunately it was Zach Mead that lost out. He had his momentum slowed down and lost a place, and he's now down to seventh.
So Harvey Williams doing exactly what he needs to do, pulling out enough of a gap over Townsend. He knows it's not going to be more than about half a second total, but it's just pushing the kart in those final couple of laps that have given him that tiny bit of daylight, those 4 to 5 kart lengths that have made him the authority figure in this race now. Out of the final turn and across the line, Harvey Williams is going to take the checkered flag. Deserved victory there in front of George Townsend. Read the race, read the situation perfectly. Stimson in third from Dan Parsons and Oliver Gibson. A very smart and mature run from Gibson to grab that fifth position finish ahead of Danny Hall and Zachary Mead, who just lost out in the closing stages.
We'll have a look at the replay of that earlier incident there. So it was Zachary Mead on the 84 kart. 81 is Oliver Gibson. He's the man closest to us. Now, should Gibson see Mead? I think he should, to be honest. He's squeezed him. Mead's come off worse. Gibson's followed on and carried on. Hasn't cost him a place.
Now,
but,
do you argue that he was on the curb on the way in? He turned in very deep.
Well, I think he should have seen him, but anyway, we'll see what the officials have made of it. I think they're just going to call that a racing incident, frankly.
And Danny Hall was the beneficiary. He managed to get through into 6th position, and you're absolutely right, Alan. It's all square. Harvey Williams ahead of George Townsend, then Jack Stimson, Dan Parsons and Oliver Gibson. He maintains 5th position. Danny Hall is in P6 in front of Zachary Mead, who was very lucky to get away and still run into the top 10. Ryan Sayers in P8 in front of Sam Aston, and then Maddox Chan managing to run through in the Tyro Junior top 10. Max Manion able to win the Junior Pro Kart class in front of Charlie Brooks, just outside the top 10, so a good run from him. Back for more in just a few minutes.